Hello, hello. Welcome to the Asian Dating Podcast. Today, I have a Jewish matchmaker on the show to talk to us about dating. Karina Datashvili, Senior Matchmaker and Managing Director of Simatov International. It's the company that works in the niche of Jewish matchmaking since 1975 and represents the most dynamic, multicultural, marriage-minded Jewish singles. Karina lives in Latvia and is working with Jewish clients worldwide, providing them personalized, dedicated, and passionate matchmaking to exceed client expectations and fulfill their wish for love. Hi, Karina. How are
Hi,
you?
May. I'm fine. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me to your program.
Yes, I love Jewish men. I love Jewish women, of course, such as you. I too, with my business, get a lot of Asian women who want to date Jewish men. So, do you get a lot of clients, Jewish men that want to date Asian women?
Usually, since I'm working in the niche, and everyone knows that Simantov International is a Jewish matchmaking agency, most of our clients applying when they would like to meet the Jewish partner. But I have many open-minded clients who are telling me that the personality is first, and so they're open for race and for nationality and for location and for everything. But I thought, okay, you can tell me that you are open, that nothing is important, but please tell me about the preferences. And then some men are starting to tell me about their preferences, and we do understand that they prefer Asian style women than just Jewish style or any kind of Caucasian style or something like that. So yes, I have some men who are interested in dating with Asian women, even being Jewish by religion.
I find that the Jewish culture and the Asian culture are pretty similar. I mean, I have a lot of Jewish friends. Would you say that both cultures think about things very similarly and they value such as education, family, like some of those key things I find that they really highlighted in their dating profiles. What are some things that you find that Jewish singles are looking for? Like what's very, very important to them, like the top five things?
I think for Jewish singles is very typical to be family oriented. Probably it goes from heritage, probably it goes from as a family example, but they are looking for families and they are looking for a big families. It doesn't mean only to have many children, but when we are speaking about their desired matches, they are telling me that I can imagine my ideal weekend, that we are coming all together, big family, sitting around the big table, many people, many children, nieces and nephews are running around, and everything is noisy, everything is happy, everything is friendly. So it's something that I can hear, let's say, in every second, maybe even first profile. Also, it's very typical for them to be well educated. So it's not just a college, it's something more. Or if the circumstances were that it was just college, so they're trying to get some study later on. So they are well educated and they love to study and love to learn new things. What is also typical, it is an interesting statistic that if we see the statistic of unemployment people in different countries, it will be very, very small percentage of Jewish people, even if you speak about proportions, how many other nationalities are living. So they do everything they can to support themselves and to support their families, and they love that, absolutely. They would like to have children and they would like to continue the traditions and to keep the history and to continue this bond with the past to future. So I think it would be number 5.
Yeah, I know education is very, very much so valued in the Asian community that I work with, the men and the women for sure. I mean, to graduate from a top 50 school, that looks good, right? It's actually very, um, it's people really admire people who graduate from a good school, like it's important to them. 4-year college to get a master's degree, get your MBA or PhD, or be a lawyer or doctor. Like all those things are very, very good on a dating profile, right? Like that actually increases your market value, if you will. But yeah, your first point when you talked about family oriented, that's so important. Like you could say you're family oriented, but if you don't like doing things with family members or getting together on a Saturday and do a picnic or a barbecue or have family dinners, that actually plays into two people meshing really well together, right? Because what if a guy has all these family members that he wants to hang out with and do birthday parties with and, you know, baby showers or celebrations or different dinners, holiday dinners, but yet the woman doesn't really care to do those things and be social or potluck, bring something over, like that can actually really be a problem in a relationship. So a lot of
Mhm.
times we say we're family oriented, but are they really? You know, do they really enjoy hanging out with extended families and stuff? So yeah, that's actually one question that I really ask on my dating profile and when I do interviews. So what are your thoughts when you're trying to match two people together? Do you ask some of those tough questions too? Like what other questions do you
I
ask?
I always ask about family, about their family, how close they are. Most of my clients are very close with their families, but we are live in real world, not in the fairy tale, and it can be different. So, but what is typical for them when they are telling me about their families, even if they told me that I have a so fantastic example, my grandmother and grandfather, how the fantastic attitude between them, or they're telling me fantastic stories about their parents. There are some people who are telling me that I wouldn't like to talk about my family, and I understand that it's some pain point. But when I'm asking them about their potential match, for them it's very important that their potential match, desired match, would be close with their family. And it's very typical for Jewish people. We all understand that if I am dating guy, I'm dating his mother, his sister, his brother, all his family, and it's absolutely okay. So it's not enough to be accepted only by your partner. You should be accepted by all his family. Not too dramatical, so it's not it's okay to date with independent people, adult people who are able to have their own opinion. But I know that for Jewish singles it's very important what the family thinks about the partner. Speaking about families with my clients, even if they are telling me that, for example, parents divorced or something bad happened in their childhood, they told that having this negative experience, I am very thankful to this negative experience, because I know what I will do different in my family, and it's also good. Even negative experience is a study for us what we can improve for our families, for our potential children, for our potential partner. And yes, it's very important to know what they are thinking about the family life, about the family, I don't know, time spending with families, not only with your partners, but with people who are important for your partners. And family is very important for Jewish people.
Going back to what you said about a negative experience or a learning experience, what do you mean by that? You ask them if they've had a negative experience in their lives and how it has impacted them and what they
Uh,
learned going forward?
if they said me that if they tell me that I wouldn't like to talk about my family, so I'm not interrupting for sure, I'm not pushing, and then I'm starting to talk about deal breakers. And it happens that speaking about deal breakers, I can understand that this deal breaker is connected with this negative experience from the youth, from the childhood, or from the previous family life. So it can be the question about loyalty. It can be a question about drinking alcohol or some bad habits or some addictions. It should be a question about how, if you speak with lady, how the gentleman should support and respect that she is building career, that she doesn't want to sit at home and to be just a housewife or something like that. And I do understand that if it is so important for her and it's a deal breaker, it's absolutely not negotiable, I understand that it is some connection with her past.
Yeah.
And the same with guys too.
So you live in Latvia right now, right? How are Jewish singles different outside of the US versus Jewish singles all over the US? Like, are there some specific things that you've noticed about Jewish singles?
Look, right now we are living just 30 years in the independent country. So all our parents and grandparents lived in Soviet Union when Latvia was a part of Soviet Union. In Soviet Union, any religion was forbidden. So any customs and traditions you could follow only discreetly. And all people in post-Soviet area, regardless, Latvia, Estonia, Lithuania, Ukraine, Belarus, Russia, whatever. So the generation of our parents named as a lost generation because they could lose something very important if we speak about traditions and customs. Now we are absolutely allowed to observe whatever, and Jewish community in Latvia is good. I think it's big if we count it, how many inhabitants and how big the Jewish community is. We have many observance families, and people here are, I don't think that young people here are different than people in the United States or United Kingdom or France or Germany. But if you speak about the previous generation, yes, the big difference is. So because when you are not allowed to be to follow your identity, to follow your traditions, so it for sure it will be impacted on your character, on your behaving or something like that.
Yeah.
So but now I don't see, so I'm traveling a lot and I don't see too big differences between young Jewish singles here and young Jewish singles in New York or in Israel or in the United Kingdom. It's easier to observe if you speak about New York and Israel. It's easier to have a religious Jewish life. But if you speak about traditional people or reform or conservative, you will not find too big differences.
What are some things about Jewish singles that would shock Asian singles? Like, are there anything that you find particular that this is so important to Jewish singles or so not important to them, but might be surprising to somebody that is not in the Jewish niche of matchmaking?
You know, May, unfortunately, I don't know too much about Asian culture. For sure, what I know is the same like a Jewish culture. You have your own holidays, not like, let's say, Christian holidays. So you have a New Year, not in December, but other months. You have your big holidays and other stuff. For sure, kitchen is different. And for sure, the traditions of how we are celebrating weddings. So some traditions and customs about praise, about how to keep the family. We have something very special, but I'm more than sure that in Asian culture there are also something very interesting that not typical for other cultures and can be maybe not shock, but surprise a lot people who are connecting their lives with people from Asian culture. I am sure that it's very interesting, and I don't think that it's something shocking. I don't believe.
Okay.
So because it's a very peaceful cultures, both of them. So
but it is so interesting that, you know, you're in the Jewish niche matchmaking. I'm in the Asian niche matchmaking. I'm Chinese American, but I really value my cultural roots and the food and some of the traditions and some of the, whether you call it superstitions or myths or whatever. But I can just think that being in a special niche industry can make you be so good at it, right? Like I feel like I'm such a good Asian matchmaker because I understand all the different Asian countries and the just little differences of each. And some of them are stereotypes, some of them are what I believe is the truth. So I would think that being in the Jewish niche, there are a lot of different things that you would know that I wouldn't know, right? Like there's just so many little things to pair up your singles because this matters to them, this doesn't matter. And it's just a very, very
it's the first question. It's the first question when we have the initial call with my potential clients. It's the first question they ask me always: "Are you Jewish?"
right.
I tell, "Yes, I am Jewish." And "Are you married?" "Yes, I am married." And it's from those 2 years, I think their trust that they are in the right place, it's increasing from these two initial questions. I don't think that it's too important to be married or not married when we speak about nowadays matchmaking. But I do understand why it is important for them when we, to know that I am Jewish. Because even if they are not religious, we can speak about Kashrut, Shabbat, Yom Kippur. I'm sure that you've heard those words, but I'm sure that you don't understand particularly what it means. I do understand, and they understand. And so we can, even if it's not important for their daily life, we can talk about that. We can talk about our heritage. We can talk about Holocaust. That is extremely important highlight for all people, for all Jewish people who has the roots in Europe. We can speak about Jewish jokes. We can speak about Jewish mothers. That is a meme by itself. So, and yes, it is important to be on the one way with them. And meantime, I'm sure, like in Asian culture, there are many directions. So Ashkenazi, Sephardi, religious, not religious, secular, different religious level, different religious directions. So I need to understand all those things for to be to have the understanding what kind of person I need to connect them with potentially. Because if they are too different, it will not work together. If it is a little bit different, it can be fantastic travel together when one is following and the second is supporting. And but I do understand why for them it's important to know that someone can understand all things that are important for them.
I know some Asian women that have converted to Judaism. So is that tough for them to marry a Jewish man if they convert later in life? No?
As the conversion procedure is not easy by itself. So if she completed it, so she will not have difficulties. I will tell you where difficulties can be, even not with her partner, but with surrounded people with surroundings of your partner, mother, sister, neighbor, or someone like that, can not to be too trustful that Asian woman who wasn't born Jewish will follow all traditions and customs. But nowadays, it's absolutely normal. I am working with Afro-American people who was born Christian but made a conversion. I have one Asian guy who made the conversion and now he's Jewish, and he is more Jewish probably than I am. He observing more things that I do. And I do believe that if the person took the decision, adult, serious decision to make a conversion, it will be very good Jewish guy or lady. So, because it's not just an exam, it's a big study. It's many things that you should pass on for to have this official conversion.
So to be officially converted, it's a long process and a very committed process. So you're saying that if someone is truly converted, they've actually gone through a lot to get there.
Absolutely, it's very long process. So it can take years. It can take many lessons. It will take many conversations with the rabbi and his wife and the community, and they will check, are you able to jump into community? Maybe if you remember the series Sex and the City, one of the hero, she took the conversion, and 3 times she tried to do that, and she was refused. They even didn't want to talk to her, not because she is bad or good, but because they check it. Is she really willing to convert? How far she is ready to go? So, and it's good. I think it's a good process for any religion, because if you feel uncomfortable being like you are and you're looking for yourself, it shouldn't be emotional decision, and it shouldn't be fast process.
Right.
So it should be checking by time and by process for the person, first of all, to understand that this choice is right.
So if there's a Jewish listener out there and she's looking to date another Jewish man or woman, do you work with clients worldwide? Like you would take on somebody in Los Angeles and they could meet a nice Jewish man or woman everywhere? Do you have a lot of clients that date across countries and
Yes,
different?
you know what is typical? The Jewish community is not too big. It's just 15 million people worldwide at all. And it happens that if I'm Jewish, I know all Jewish people around me, and if I couldn't select any of them, so I have a reason why I don't like any of them. So I know many people around me. Okay, Los Angeles has a huge community, New York, huge community. So if the person comes to me from Los Angeles, I still can try to work with him only within Los Angeles. But if he is, I don't know, from Chicago or from Philadelphia or from Arizona or from some place where the Jewish community is existing, but it's not too big by itself. So we always are looking around, okay, neighbor states, a little bit farther, and I am more successful making international couples, or the couples Los Angeles, New York, so they are very far from each other. They have some difficulties initially with a time difference, with a distance, but I am more successful doing these international couples than just working in one location.
Yeah. So a lot of the couples are open to relocating too, like they have no trouble moving from here to Israel or wherever.
Here is a problem if you speak about 2 successful persons, because if they are in their 30s, they have a good education and they started to build their beautiful career. And here is a huge question: who will leave this place, this career, the house, the dog, everyone, and relocate to whom? So it's easier when we are working with people in golden age, where they are retired, so where they are not too bounded by their daily life with a place. So, but if you speak about singles in their 30s, 40s, is always a huge question: who will make this step for relocation?
Yeah,
but I'm telling them always that even if I find you someone in your city, sooner or later, you will have to decide who will leave the apartment and move to other partner. But even this is a challenge. I relocated to my husband. I know how challenging it is.
right.
So just tell yourself that your partner lives, okay, not next block, but couple of blocks farther. So play the game.
Yeah.
But
So what about like Persian Jews versus American Jews, Russian Jews? Like if you're Jewish, would you just date any ethnicity Jewish, or how does that come into play? What are some of the roadblocks?
it's also the question why it's so important for me to be Jewish, for to understand what kind of Sephardi, even Sephardi is dividing for many groups. What kind of groups will never mix? They are living very deep inside their community, in their group. What kind of groups are really ready to mix, to mix their ethnics, and what kind of groups better even not to try, because it's initially two different mentalities, like South and North, like black and white. So even if they are believing the same God and praying by the same book, it's absolutely different planets. So Persian Jews, what is very interesting fact that I am facing, Jewish guys, Persian Jewish guys, they would like to meet the Persian Jewish lady. Persian Jewish lady, tell me please whatever, but not Persian guy.
Right,
So,
right. So there's distinction between among the groups as well, right?
yes,
Like that's
yes.
yeah, see, I don't even know where to start. That's why I would not feel comfortable taking on a Jewish client who only wants to meet another Jewish client. But then there's all those other factors that come into play. So yeah, that's
It's not enough to be just Jewish.
right.
It's you should check under. So
Yeah,
I can see, we are collaborating a lot, and when any matchmaker is publishing the profile of their client for networking, and I can understand even without reading the name of matchmaker, is this matchmaker is working with Jewish or not? Because if this matchmaker is working with Jewish singles, she will write, or he will write, Jewish Ashkenazi or Jewish Sephardi or Jewish something, some addition it will be. If you're not working with Jewish, typically you will just write that he is a Jewish guy. So I will have to ask you many additional questions afterwards.
right. It's kind of like working with Asian singles, right? Like a guy would come to me and say, well, I want to date a nice Asian woman. Okay, which countries are you open to? Okay, all of them. All right, so she could be Chinese, Korean, Japanese, Thai, Malaysian, Indonesian, you know, Filipina. And then he'll be like, oh, wait, not that country. Oh, wait, not that look. So it's, yeah, you just really have to drill it down. And like Chinese dialects, there's so many Chinese dialects, not just Cantonese, Mandarin, Shanghainese, Taiwanese. Like there's so many more other dialects that goes with it, which an average matchmaker might not know. Because one time I asked another matchmaker, I'm like, well, what kind of Asian is she? Like what country? And she just said, oh, she's Asian. Like
Yes,
she didn't
yes,
even bother. She didn't even bother
something that I
asking.
would tell you if you ask me. I would tell you the same, because I don't understand those nuances. That's why I'm always happy to have this big network of different matchmakers who are covering all possible niches. So
Right.
it's very good.
Do you
And
work with gay, lesbian, Jewish singles too? No.
I don't have sufficient database. I'm working in company 7 years. Until now, I had just 3 requests like that. It's not enough
Right.
for telling that I'm working with them, but I'm always referring them to special matchmakers who are working especially with this community.
Yeah. I mean, that's the advantage of us. Karina and I both work in this huge matchmaking community with two big networking matchmaking groups. So it's a huge advantage to anyone that comes to me, comes to Karina, and want to meet different people outside of our database. We can reach out to them and collaborate with other matchmakers. And that's the beauty of how I met Karina and why I know her so well is we spent some time together in Cancun, our recent conference, and hopefully future conferences as well. But yeah, this community of working with other matchmakers is just so amazing. Like I've made so many great friendships, and I'm always trying to recruit Asian women to become an Asian matchmaker. And I love teaching them and helping them, rise to the occasion and just have a great network of Asian matchmakers that I could reach out to. So yeah, anyway, if you know anybody who would love a career in Asian matchmaking, I mean, it's just so much fun. So, Karina, let me ask you this before I let you go. What made you become so great in this industry? Like what makes you so successful as a Jewish matchmaker?
I thank you very much that you think that I'm great and successful. I always think that I have to grow and to grow. But thank you. But anyway, I think not only for me, but for any matchmaker, the must-have quality is empathy. If you have no this empathy, it will not work for any money. It's a job not for money. It's the job for mission. And it's fantastic if the money is come together with this mission, but if you have no empathy, better not to take a client. And as you mentioned, there are so many other matchmakers who can help better than if you don't feel that you would love to be happy together with this client, better to find another hands for him. And it was what I am always doing. Probably I could get other business successes and other results if I take everyone who is coming to me, but I don't do that because I do understand that if I am taking a client, at least 6 months as I need to communicate with this person, I need to take care about this person, I need to worry about this person, and then I need to feel together. And if I don't have this feeling initially, I'm not taking that.
Yeah. I also feel like the matchmakers in the two matchmaking groups, the Matchmakers Alliance group and the Global Love Matchmaking group, I feel like the matchmakers in these two communities are ethical and more into helping other matchmakers because you're part of this community and you want to give your advice to people and help others get through what they're getting through if it's a difficult situation. And I mean, I've known you, Karina, for quite a few years now, and I know we've collaborated a lot. And I know you are pretty strict with interviewing them, vetting them to make sure that they're a good match for your potential client. So I totally respect your method and the way you do things. And
Sorry for interrupting. Sometimes I think that I'm doing not enough, but I prefer not to interrupt. I'm telling to my clients, you are welcome to schedule a call with me wherever you want. I'm not your Yiddish mama, I'm not your Jewish mother. I will not call you every day asking how things are going. But I will really appreciate if you give me some feedback. And if the best signal for me when I don't hear from my clients, because it means that everything is going okay, everything is happening well. Because if everything is happening wrong, I know it immediately. So if I don't have a good feedback, it doesn't mean that everything is bad. Usually opposite, it means that everything is okay. But I'm very careful with them in this case.
Do you ever have Jewish parents that come to you that want to hire you for their daughter or son?
It's about quarter part of all my initial calls.
Really? That
Mother or
much?
father is calling regarding their children. And I'm telling, I love you like a mama or like a papa, but until your little boy who is 40 or little girl who is 37 is not ready by herself, your love and your care is not enough. Please tell them about me and please push them, not push them, just offer them to call me. I will do my best, but not with you, but for them. If you need my help, I will help you.
Yeah.
But if they need my help, let they come to me by themselves. But it's absolutely, I don't have any single week for anyone's mother or father wouldn't call me about my service.
Wow, that popular. I think I get maybe 10% calls are from a mom or dad that wants to hire me for their son or daughter. And I tell them the same thing. I'm like, it's great that you want them to find somebody, but they need to
It's
want
not
to find
enough.
somebody, right? It's hard to set them up if they're not bought into it, right? They're not going to take it seriously and you're just going to waste your money. So yeah, I
I
agree.
think it's one more very common thing between in Asian and Jewish culture, that parents are so overwhelmed, overcare about their children. I think it's beautiful.
Yeah,
Anyway,
right, right. Well, thank you so much, Karina, for joining me today. Any last parting dating tips you want to give to the Jewish singles out there or Asian singles out there? Any Karina top secret dating tip that you can give?
I think it's a top secret from Karina to any single. Just enjoy every step of your search. Being alone, it's not a disease, it's not bad, it's just a study, it's just a period. You will cover it, and you sooner or later you will find your partner, but enjoy every action on this way. And please don't look on your any person that you meet like on your potential husband or your wife. Maybe it's absolutely not about that. Just enjoy the moment. Your person will come to you sooner or later.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Well, Karina, I will put all of your contact information in the show notes. So thank you so much for joining me today. I also want to encourage the Asian women out there. If you're single and want to be part of my database, I would love to have you in the system. So when there's a great guy, Jewish or not, looking for you, I would be able to find you and set you up. And it's a free service for women. The men are the paying clients. So if there's a guy out there that wants to hire a matchmaker, I would love to help you find your nice Asian princess. Thank you, everybody. Have a good day. Bye, Karina.
Bye, Maya. Thank you.